Hey folks, it is the Nutty Knife Guy. I apologize in advance for any interruptions, but I live in the real world, and there are other people here that aren't knife people. Today I am finally going to bring you, after my bout with illness, something that I teased in a short video and on my community page. The Ansari Forge, they called it a Bowie knife, a Sub-hilt Bowie knife. I don't know if I would call this a Bowie knife, at least not in the classical sense. Now, the thing about this knife is it's a little confusing as to what it is. I actually got this off end of Amazon. List price was 90 bucks, and it was about $40 for shipping because it actually came all the way from Pakistan. The address on the package it came in was Pakistan. Okay, yeah, but so the specs on this thing are a little bit weird because its origin story is a little bit weird. And this took some digging on the internet to figure out, or well, not figure out, but find out. The brand listed on Amazon where I bought it was LTQSA Knives. Don't know what that stands for. Right, but after trying to find out what LTQSA was, I came across a website for an outfit called Ansari Forge. Now, as near as I can figure out, the LTQS, whatever the hell it was I just said, is the distributor out of Great Britain for Ansari Forge, which actually made the knife. And I think I'm about to be interrupted. I hear somebody stomping. Okay, as I was saying before I was interrupted, this LTQSA seems to be the distributor in Great Britain, and Ansari Forge seems to make the knife. Now, Ansari Forge has a pretty nice website. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but a lot of the budget Pakistani blades don't really have a website for the company that makes them. A lot of times they just slap a brand name on the same knife that they produce by millions, but this actually seems to be, they actually make this. Now there's no markings on this blade at all. Okay, here we go again. Okay. Again, sorry for all the background noise and all that stuff. Ansari Forge seems to make these, and they take credit for them. Kinda. I wish they would just say Ansari Forge on the Amazon, and also because for some unknown reason. Sorry about this again, guys. Okay. Okay. This is $99 is the purchase price. $99 is the purchase price on Amazon, and it's not Prime, so you're paying shipping as well. The same knife, it's the same picture and everything that they use on Amazon, so it is the same knife. If you look on their website, is $102, and they're listing. They say that's 32% off. Now the thing is, Amazon lists this thing as being crafted of 440C steel, and the Ansari Forge website listed as D2. Now, I'm not a metallurgist, and I don't have any way of analyzing it. Just from handling lots and lots of knives, I'm leaning towards D2. Just because of the amount of metal here and the heft, the weight. I think if this D2 would be lighter than this knife is. I could be wrong about that, but I'm thinking D2. So okay, going through the door again. Okay. Squeaky door. But anyway, so there's that. I'm not going to qualify this as mystery steel. It's at least 440, but D2 is usually a little denser than 440, and also they say this is an HRC of 60, and that's pretty tough to get 440C2 in my experience. Now, the knife itself is excellent. Fit and finish are perfect. I know I don't have the greatest lighting, but I don't do this professionally. I'll give you, see if I can get a good look at that knife. Look at that mirror finish. Fit and finish are excellent. You cannot feel any. You cannot feel the space between the guard, the scales here, the sub-hilt, and the scales. It's absolutely flush, perfectly fitted. 3 rivets, one here, so it's riveted. The tang is integral, so all forged in one piece, and it feels pretty nice in the hand. It's got a nice palm swell. This wood is listed as Paca wood. I think where is this at? Where I see Paca wood. It's well anyway on Ansari Forge it's listed as Paca wood. On Amazon is listed as ash wood. This does not look like Paca wood to me. I wish they would get their act together on the specifications, but it handles well. My only concern with just the design of it is the edges of the handle. These areas here need to be better contoured. They're too angular, rounded off. Now, to me, again, this is obviously designed for fighting and not much else. But they market it as a hunting knife and an outdoor knife too. So if you're doing a lot of chopping or a lot of carving or anything here, these could be a problem with not rounded off. And the problem with that is this thing is so beautiful and the fit and finish is so nice. If you get in there with a Dremel and round this off, unless you're really, really good at that kind of thing, you're going to ugly up the knife. Now, another thing that's interesting about this knife is it has a pretty significant belly. And I've never really seen that on a sub-hilt before. This would be a pretty decent chopper, I think. Now, it's got this big long swedge for it through it, so it should pierce very well too. But you should be able to get some pretty good chopping and hewing out of this thing. But again, when sorry about all the background noise. Again, this is so angular here that when you do that kind of a motion, I can even do it this way. I can feel that sharpness there. But it's not awful, especially if you're just going to use it as a fighter. it seems really solid. I expect it to do pretty well. But the biggest thing is this, the conflicting specifications on here. But I can live with that. Even if it's 440, it seems to be very well done 440. Now, I don't know if you can see this. It doesn't do the mirror finish justice, but it is really, really shiny, and there's no, and the finish is even. And a lot of the mirror finish budget blades, and I don't get too many mirror finish. I really don't like them. Well, I like the way they look, but maintaining them is a bitch if you not actually use the knife. But it is very even, and a lot of the times on other knives that I see, the mirror finish is not even, and sometimes you can even see where they mar the blade trying to get that mirror finish. This has a really deep, I know you can't see it here, but I'm going to try and show you. It has a really deep hollow grind. That concerns me a little bit because of the belly. It's got a big belly where you can chop, and it's going to concentrate that force. But that hollow grind is so deep, I'm worried about it making the edge weak. Now, on the other hand, the edge bevel is very thin. It's pretty steep. So there's still some meat behind there. So maybe it won't. Now, if that's the case, and they made this really deep hollow grind to make it so you can get it really, really sharp, but they made that teeny, you can see how that edge bevel is just really narrow. If they did that on purpose, then that's a heck of a good design, provided it passes. The knife itself, except for needing the handle edges a little rounder, is top notch. Worth every penny of what I paid for it. Provisional. I'll say that provisionally until we get it out to the war post. Now with the war post, what I'm going to do is I am going to put a really thick coat of oil on the blade. So when I go through the bottle, now I'm hoping the oil will protect the blade from getting scratched up. This blade is so pretty, I don't want to scratch it up. That's one of the reasons I don't get mirror finish very often, because if it's a good mirror finish, it's kind of a travesty, a crime against knifedom to scratch it all up. I know that's stupid, knives are tools, they're meant to be used, but I can't help it. And also, when I do the war post, I'm not going to be doing the usual just wailing away at it and simulating the angles of attack in a fighting situation. I'm going to make really deliberate chops. I'm going to go just as hard, and I'm going to go the same angles, but I'm going to make really deliberate choices and really deliberate motions. So I'm going to be going slower, again, in order to protect the knife prettiness and to protect the finish. So it's not really going to affect, whether the edge rolls or anything like that. But it will make sure that my edge alignment is good, so I'm hitting the edge and not screwing up the finish. From just holding it, I think it's going to do well at the war post. But you can't tell until it meets the post. I'm really hoping it does. I'm really hoping it does pass, and I'm hoping that I don't screw it up really bad. I keep getting fingerprints on them. It drives me crazy on the mirror finish, which is why I don't get mirror finishes. It triggers my knife OCD. But anyway, if it fails, it's either going to be because of edge roll or possibly the scales coming loose, because I can see the pings, but I don't know if I don't know what kind of adhesive they used, if any, on here. So we'll see. The sheath is pretty much the same leather sheaths that come with a lot of these Pakistani blades. Decent leather, pretty well constructed. This one isn't double stitched, but it's got really thick thread. The stitching is even and tight. The belt loop is riveted on there, which is good. Adequate. Now, when I first got this, I really wanted to carry this as part of my EDC rotation, but the sheath doesn't lend to that. I could have made it. I was thinking about getting a custom-made sheath, but then again, like I said, this thing is so pretty. Wearing it every day and bouncing it off of door thresholds, and God knows what else it would get scratched up. It would just mar this. This is not designed as an EDC. This is designed as kind of a presentation. I'm not going to call this a wall hanger. This could be ornamental though. This could be a presentation knife. A gift for somebody, because I'm pretty sure this is going to pass the war post. This is usable. It's not a wall hanger, but it is ornamental. This is the thing you get down in case of zombie apocalypse, or in some bizarro world. If you have to fight a knife-on-knife duel, you go to meet him with something that looks really cool. Or, it's one of these things where if you're using it, it's because things turn crappy and you really don't care how pretty the knife is anymore. So there's that. I think that's about it. And I'm going to get ready and go to the post. Okay, folks, I'm going to try and make this quick because it's cold out here today. Okay, we had a nice clean cut here to the point where it was clean enough that it was actually still holding the water in at the seam. And up here where the bottle's thickest, we also got through. So, not too shabby. Like I said, I'm going to be a bit more deliberate here. See if I can turn that around. Get a nice shaving out of that. Okay, no scratches and no edge roll. Real quick, we'll try vampire deterrent here, or at least some feather sticking. Yeah. This wood is like super wet, so it's not really a fair test, but maybe you can learn something from that. The edge bevel is not really intended for that though. You can do it, but not easily. Okay, I'm going to get out of this cold weather. It's a lot colder than I thought it was out here, and we'll see you for the wrap up. Here's a little crooked here, folks, but we'll have to live with that, I think. Okay, take another look at the blade. Wipe it off, get some of the rain that was on it and the water. And I have to polish this up again, but No scratches. Like I said, you can see where it got wet and left some streaks. Handle scales are still nice and tight. No edge roll. So I can say that it passed the war post. A couple things I noticed while I was using it, because this is the first time I've really used it. I was right about these being too angular, especially the ones in the right here where your finger goes in between the hilt and the guard and the sub-hilt. Really felt that at the war post. Now, if you're using this as its intended purpose, and despite what they do for marketing to keep Amazon and everybody happy, this is a fighter. This is a fighting knife. That wouldn't be much of an issue. And if you were going to use this outdoors, gloves would take care of that. If you really had to and you did wind up uglying up the knife, a little Dremel. And another thing I noticed, I mentioned the really narrow and acute edge bevel. I know the lace on here isn't congruent to that, but it's got a very, and what I found is just even trying to feather side on that rod and wood, you really have a steep angle to do that. This is not the best kind of thing for any kind of bushcraft because of that. But what it was, when it was hitting that war post, it was biting deep because of the belly and that really acute edge bevel made this a horrendous chopper. You know, if you were doing a jab, some people call them a flick cut, or that could be potentially devastating to a lizardman zombie ninja. So, yeah, is it worth the $140 odd that I paid for it? Oh, absolutely. I really do think this is D2, not 440. Fit and finish are fine. Like I said, rounding the scales off a little bit, contouring a bit would make it perfect. But if you're just going to use it as a to practice knife or as a gift for somebody that appreciates knives, you could put on get a little mount, a little display mount and have it there and use it if they absolutely must. Absolutely. This is a very nice knife. I'm very glad I bought it. The sheath, as I said, is okay. But this thing, I am probably actually going to get some sort of display box to keep this thing pretty. I can't say anything bad about this. Now, the only thing that I forgot to mention earlier is there was just a slight ding on the sheath right here at the corner where the leather was damaged. No big deal, but probably happened during shipping. Probably wouldn't happen to yours if you get one. So Ansari Forge makes good stuff. If you get it from Amazon, it's going to be the LTQS, I think it was. Now, if you get it, they don't have their entire catalog on Amazon, and they have some nice plates there. But if you get it from Amazon, then sorry about that, folks. Just a second. If you get it from Amazon, sorry about that lag. If you get it from Amazon, then it's a little bit easier to return if there is a problem. But Ansari Forge has a nice website, and they have a lot of nice looking blades on there. And based on this example alone, I can recommend Ansari Forge. There's another sub-hilt from them that I'm really looking hard at. Very similar to this, but also has some differences. I'll let you know if I decide to pull the trigger on that one. And with that, I will leave you with my usual admonition to draw your knives only in just purpose, sheathe them only in honor, and remember that without knives, life would be dull and pointless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Feed the almighty YouTube algorithm. All hail the algorithm. And I bid you goodbye.